So I got to ask you, a lot of these people who are donating, they've also left comments on your fundraising page. What are people saying in these comments about why they're supporting Luigi Mangione?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me on today. To quote one donor, they said, let's see, we do not condone murder, and for that reason, we cannot condone the actions of UnitedHealthcare. Luigi is simply being accused of standing up to the systematized murder of millions of Americans at the hands of a broken healthcare system. And I think that's very apt.
Did you get any messages given the news today that the DOJ is going to seek the death penalty?
Yeah, there's been an outpouring of support every single time that the state tries to come down and crack down harder on Luigi. His spirit doesn't waver, but the outpouring of support swells up more. And, I think the reason for that is what happened last year on December 4th really revealed an underlying situation within our society that only that act, pragmatically speaking, seems to have revealed. And that situation, of course, is the fact that hundreds of millions of people around the world understand that these deeply crooked, morally bankrupt corporate elites are at the most fundamental level the enemies of those who want peace in this world, the enemies of those who believe in dignity and justice for all.
Yeah, many people are actually leaving stories of encounters they've had with the healthcare insurance industry about claims getting denied, that kind of thing. Can you give me an example of what they might be saying, one of those stories?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, going all the way back to day one of the fundraiser, we've got examples of doctors, people who work at the front desk of a lot of these hospitals who have just seen firsthand the carnage that's left in the wake of these greedy insurance companies. The government wants us to be scared. The healthcare profiteers want us to be scared. But really, what can be scarier than the way things are now?
Well, what might be scarier is a guy like Luigi Mangione with a gun in his hand waiting for you outside your hotel room. I mean, surely gunning people down in the street isn't the answer.
It seems that there's only one class of people in this country that are protected citizens, and that's the elite. That's the ultra wealthy, the billionaires, the corporate oligarchs. They're implementing this the most austere punishment available to the federal government, state-sanctioned murder, as Karen pointed out, Luigi's lead defense attorney. And the reason they're doing that is because they're scared. Because everyone in this country sees themselves in Luigi Mangione.
Well, I think the DOJ would argue the reason they're doing that is because if they are managed to convince a jury that Luigi, there's a lot of evidence showing that he did what he is accused of doing. There's video, surveillance video. I guess what I'm saying to you is two things can be true. This can be a very broken system where people are denied care that they desperately need, and by the way, have paid for through their deductibles and all the premiums. But we cannot be a country where it's okay to arm yourself with a gun and assassinate people who you deem responsible.
Speaking of the jury, I've found it really interesting how many Americans started Googling what's called jury nullification.
This guy never answers the question, anything that is about the possibility that Luigi Mangione actually murdered Brian Thompson, he just doesn't answer. So there is a huge part of the population that is supporting Luigi Mangione. And after all, his defense fund has reached nearly $800,000. So can we understand this? I guess we can. And the hatred for the healthcare industry. And, and I will be one of the first people to say that it needs fixing. It absolutely 100% needs to be fixed. But the underlying problem here is that a murder was committed, and you can argue whether or not Luigi Mangione is the person that did it, but there certainly is a lot of evidence. And Pam Bondi, who is the U.S. Attorney General, has indicated that the federal government is going to seek the death penalty against Luigi Mangione. So a lot of politics thrown in here. Of course, the forefront of this is the hatred of corporate America, of corporations that control the lives of ordinary citizens, and of course, something very personal to everyone, their own health care. And our system is not the best system in the world that supplies health care. So we will keep following this case, but we brought it to you today And the breaking news was really as of yesterday that the federal government is going to seek, they intend to seek the death penalty in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson against Luigi Mangione, who is going to be prosecuted by 3 different jurisdictions: the Manhattan DA's office, the federal government, and Altoona, Pennsylvania. So it'll be interesting to see how this case plays out. But if I had to bet, I would say that the federal government may be giving indications that they intend to take the lead in this case, and that they could very easily take this case from the state, which the state, of course, would be the Manhattan DA's office. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff. Have a great day, and God bless.
One episode just ain't enough.